largest ice sheet in the northern hemisphere is simply melting away.
The melt is winning this game.
We've now broken all-time records for 3 consecutive years.
As oceans continue to rise, flooding the streets of American cities half a world away.
What happens in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic.
I was in complete agreement with CNN's reporting, and then I read a book by Stephen Koonin called Untitled. The book challenges the things that we've been told about climate change. It offers a clear, concise summary of the complexities involved in climate science. I was still skeptical after reading Untitled and decided to research a specific topic, in this case, Greenland temperatures. My goal was to compare what we were being told versus Koonin's claims. The Denmark Meteorological Institute offers data on the climate of Greenland. Nuuk in southwest Greenland has records going back to 1784, and I selected it as the basis of the analysis. A separate video will explore Upernavik, which is further north and closer to the ice pack. The temperatures for Nuuk were loaded into a spreadsheet for analysis. This is a chart of annual temperatures in Nuuk from 1784 to 2020. Notice the gaps in the data and the wide variations in temperatures. Adding a linear trend line and the associated formula shows that temperatures increased by about 1/100 of a degree per year. Over 236 years, temperatures increased by about 2.2 degrees Celsius, and this can be confirmed visually looking at the yellow trend line. Removing the data prior to 1866 takes away the gaps in data. The trendline formula shows that temperatures increased by about 1/100 of a degree. Thus, the rate of increase over the past 150 years has not increased compared to those earlier years.
It looks as though time has stood still for thousands of years. But this environment reflects the big changes in our world's atmosphere. As the planet gets warmer, the Arctic is heating up at double the rate, and Greenland in particular is warming even faster.
So let's test that claim that temperatures in Greenland are rising even faster. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is the primary driver of human-influenced climate change. This chart shows carbon dioxide readings from 1866 to 2020. Notice that there is a significant break that occurs in about 1950 at the central part of this chart. To test the impact of increasing carbon dioxide, we'll break the data in 1950. Between 1866 and 1949, temperatures increased by 0.024 degrees per year. Between 1950 and 2020, temperatures increased by only 0.0052 degrees per year. Combining the two charts shows that the rate decreased during the period when carbon dioxide was increasing. Critics may complain that this is somehow cherry-picking the data, so let's look at high temperatures. The same 1866 chart shows temperature highs as specific points. On the left side, in the earlier years, the high was minus 0.2 degrees. In the 1940s, there was a 0.8 degree temperature, and in the 2000s, there was a 0.3 high. 2010 had a high of 2.6 degrees, while 2020 was at minus 0.9. The 2010 weather event got lots of headlines, and yet recent decreases have not been reported. The question becomes, why are there such fluctuations in the temperature? A primary explanation is the North Atlantic Oscillation. Over decades, this climate pattern blocks warm or cool air over Greenland. The 1866 chart now has a sixth-order polynomial overlaid on it as a trend line. The wave pattern is very evident. Notice how steep it is in the 1910 period and in the 1998 period, and also the decline that's occurred over the last 10 years.
It's true that there are natural cycles in climate, but what's happening now is human activity has become the dominant agent of change for about the last 150 years. The climate change we observe today is at least 80% due to human activity.
He just said that human activity is the dominant agent of change over the past 150 years, and that climate change today is 80% human activity. This analysis does not agree with those claims. The trend lines of annual temperatures have actually flattened over the last 70 years. High temperatures have decreased with the exception of only 2010. The naturally caused variations from the North Atlantic Oscillation have actually decreased over the past 10 years. I believe that man is having impacts on the environment, and temperatures may be rising due to human influences. However, the media is grossly exaggerating those influences. The first half of the book, Unsettled, explores the complexities of climate science. Later sections describe why the media, politicians, and even scientists are using climate change to promote their own agendas. CNN seeks more viewers, and the best way to do that is through sensationalized reporting. What gets lost is careful and accurate reporting. Information is used out of context. An alarming story sells. And typical weather events are used as evidence of climate change. Kunin argues that we've gotten confused about what's important. We need to focus on adaptation and further study before we spend trillions of dollars on modifications. My conclusion from this narrow analysis is that Kunin is correct. The media is not reporting climate change objectively. A separate video focuses on Upernavik and a scientific study about temperature changes there. It is located in closer proximity to the ice pack and will examine summer temperatures.